Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. I'm here with Matt Hansen, real estate agent and wealth building magnet guy. This guy knows what he's talking about when it comes to wealth building, and he is a real estate agent at Keller Williams Real Estate in Eastern Idaho. Matt, he is. I think you were born over. You were raised in Soda Springs area, right?
Yeah, I was born in Snake River, actually.
Snake River, okay.
Yeah. And then since high school, been in Pocatello, moved out to Soda Springs.
Okay, perfect.
This area, yeah.
Perfect. And then you attended high school, and then you attended ISU for a little bit.
I did.
And then you just born and raised in Idaho, so you're Idaho guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like it. Well, as always, before we get too far into it, like I always like to say, we're sponsored by New Clean Commercial Cleaning, my company. If you guys have any janitorial needs, from carpet cleaning to cold and flu sterilization to stripping and waxing floors to just basic toilet scrubbing at nights, we cover pretty much from Burley all the way to Rexburg. If you give us a holler, give us a call at 208-254-7070. If you tell us that you heard about us on the podcast, we will offer you your first office sterilization treatment for cold and flu season, absolutely for free, no questions, no ifs, ands, or buts. That's just the podcast offer. So there you go. Matt, let's get back to wealth building. I'm interested to know more about it. I love real estate. I used to be a real estate agent, commercial real estate agent back in the past. I'm no longer licensed, so I will put that out there just so I can have that disclaimer. But I've read up a little bit about you, and you're pretty aggressive with what you're trying to do personally with building your personal wealth. So can you talk through it a little bit about how you view wealth building and wealth management?
Yeah, absolutely. It was doing houses and wealth building, equity building that got me into real estate and having my license. My wife and I, we kind of took the route where, everyone says buy the ugliest house on the nicest block. And then, we just worked day and night for about 30 months is what it took us. And, we walked away with some money when we sold that house. And man, I'd never seen anything so powerful for, just regular people to be able to come up with large sums of money. And then we immediately reinvested in another house we bought out in Soda Springs. And we were fortunate enough to be able to pay cash on that second one. And we just reapplied the same plan, worked a lot, put our money that we earned that was extra directly back into the house. And that one was also a success story and brought us back to Pocatello, where we've been able to pick up more than one property now. And, after I'd done a couple personal transactions, the realtor who was helping me was another Keller Williams agent. She said, Matt, why don't you go ahead and get your license? The real estate's a very natural thing. My background, I went to ISU, but when I immediately graduated high school to pay for college, I needed a job. So I started building houses with local contractors and kind of learned the ropes a little bit about the construction process. And I would say through that kind of fell in love with building things and seeing the progress that entails.
Sure.
And, I guess long story short, went from doing houses to commercial. And then when Hoku was going, I had a hand in that, doing the industrial painting thing. And that got me into, large scale construction and running bigger projects. So I'd kind of seen the business side of things as well, I guess you could say. Mm-hmm. And having a construction background and then doing a couple houses personally, and then having a realtor friend that's like, wow, you're really missing the boat. You should help people. You should go out and help other people that might want to do what you're doing. So I've had my license for just over a year now. We'd had what I consider to be really good success for a first year guy. I closed over 20 transactions my first year. We did just over 4 million in volume. So, and it's a really upward trajectory. I think the reason that we've had that success and that sort of immediate success was that, people, my network and other folks have seen kind of the approach that I'm taking, which is, like you said, aggressive or hands-on.
Sure.
And being there, for my customers and clients that, I really feel like I'm in the trenches there with you.
Mm-hmm.
So, and for me, it's a learning process. I don't know everything already. So it's been great to learn new things every day and be able to apply what I already know as well.
Sure. No, I like that. Walk me through, I saw that story you put on Facebook about how you started. You started with even in a camper, living in a camper and stuff.
Yeah.
Walk our audience through that decision making to a sacrifice in the beginning to get you to the point you are now.
Yeah. Yeah. My when my wife tells the story, we started literally with a mattress on the ground. When we first got together, we had a TV that we just purchased and we put it on a cooler that we had at the time, and we had a rental. And Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad, he calls it the rat race. You're making a paycheck. The paycheck's not as much as you want it to be. You're trying to save, and that's almost impossible for a lot of folks. And that just wasn't working. And for me, my wife, who's smarter than me, she said, let's buy a house, right?
Sure.
And we did. It was surprisingly easy, littler down payment than I thought. We did buy an ugly one. We got a conventional loan. And then we went to work. To say that it was easy, that wouldn't be honest. There's work involved in the whole process. But it's, incredibly rewarding. When I got that first payout, it was almost six figures.
Wow.
And I'm just a construction guy. I'm a regular guy. And to see money like that in my bank account for once was just, what's the next step? What's possible here? And we've had some success since then. So as far as the camper, I can't say that was all fully conscious decision to spend that long. We sold our house out in Soda. We were able to cash out. We had no liens on that property. We did everything in cash. We did it very, hand to mouth. Earn some money, put the money into the house. Earn some money, put some money into the house. And then at the end, there was a big check. And we bought a property. We bought it in cash. I didn't apply any leverage to that yet. And we were going to work on remodeling that one, and didn't make it as far as we'd hoped to. And at that point, we were in the camper. And we ended up picking up another property. I'm on Jefferson Street here in Pocatello now, just down from the Maverick. You can see my signs out front and stuff. Yeah. And it presented another opportunity. I'm thinking with these houses that they'll end up being multifamily that's affordable, which is kind of something I think that Pocatello needs. Rentals for $900 instead of $1,600. Mm-hmm. And I was able to get a good deal 2 times in a row in a very difficult market. And, if you apply, a little bit of work ethic and some background information, I got this house for 20% off, which is, a really good deal in today's market, I think.
Yeah. That's interesting. Now, what happens for the listeners that are listening, and even myself who is not, construction inclined, like I'm not a handyman. I can't. I won't say I can't, but I could learn. But maybe we have other people who got other things. There are other sticks in the fire that they're doing, and they're busy with other things.
Absolutely.
Is there other avenues to do these things and flips without doing just all sweat equity on your own brow?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That would actually be another reason that real estate appeals so much to me, is that there are so many different ways that someone can get involved in real estate, from completely passive. You can get into a syndication involving large apartments and whatnot. And you could park your money and get really decent returns and know exactly where it is, as opposed to maybe having your money on Wall Street and not being sure exactly as sure what you're in. You could partner up, you can do hard money lending. You could partner with someone that does have the skill set, use your money and their skills, and collect a profit in some sort of split. I think I posted on my Facebook page. I'll put it out there: Facebook, Matthew Hansen Real Estate. I've been running the wealth building series, and one of the ones I did was, I think, 15 different ways that you can invest in real estate. So if anyone wants to pop over there and just take a quick look.
Perfect. Yeah, we can even put that Facebook page in the description of your show, so we.
Oh, great. I appreciate that.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Well, that's good to know. Because I have friends that are flipping homes, and they sometimes they do it themselves, like you have. It's all the sweat of their brow, or sometimes they'll subcontract it out. But with the market how it's turning now, with the rates kind of skyrocketing up, with the Feds raising the rates, how they have been raising. Are the deals out there still?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I would say actually more so now than ever.
Okay.
Rates don't scare me particularly. Lenders are being really aggressive with rate buy downs. Rates fell last week about half a point, three quarters of a point. So, if you have a lender that's willing to buy 3% off your loan for the first year, you're back down to 3.5%. So, all I'm saying is there's workarounds for that particular avenue. I think a lot of what the Fed was trying to do was instill, essentially push the brakes on the economy and slow this inflation down a little bit. And they were doing it with fear.
Yeah.
And I think we saw that, the whole market, not just Idaho, throughout the nation, everyone got really tentative with what was going on. And for us, I think that actually helped the buyer situation. Instead of getting just 8, 9 offers first day, and having buyers that just, it was so discouraging for so long. In the last month, I've had FHA buyers where we're getting sellers to pay some concessions, and we're getting people deals. We're getting them into houses when it was just a madhouse earlier.
I'm sure it was.
And it was great for cash buyers, and we had a lot of success with that as well. But now it's a more balanced market, I would say.
Well, yeah, it's good. It's good for, Idaho people to actually buy in Idaho, and
absolutely
Idaho salaries to buy in Idaho, so.
Yeah. Yeah. We just got some first time home buyers into a house over on Hayes, and one thing that's nice, prices are going up. I understand that, but people that are buying houses, they're qualified to get into the houses. A lot of times it's families, people with jobs. Our neighborhoods are improving overall. I'm seeing, Pocatello has always been a wonderful place to live, and it seems like other people found that out in the last few years.
Sure.
And overall, homeostasis, it's coming up.
Sure. I get it. Well, I like it, man. I like what I'm hearing. What would be the big takeaway that you'd give to our audience with, if they're maybe in their 40s or 50s, or even just starting out, and maybe they're thinking, I should be doing a little bit more to help with my wealth building. Well, maybe is there 1 to 3 points that you would say, this is what I would give you for advice?
One thing that's probably always important is education. Always seek to know a little bit more, but even more than that people don't talk about, is taking a chance on yourself, and believing in yourself a little bit. Mm-hmm. I know you're an entrepreneur, myself as well, self-employed. To take a risk on yourself and believe that you can do it is probably one of the hardest things that people have a problem with. and just know that you can,
Yeah.
take a little bit of chance on yourself and it'll pay off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think real estate's it's a good one too, because it's not you're not having to go open a storefront to open up a full business. You're not having to staff everything. You're not, you just save up enough money, put a down payment down. Like you said, you can leverage yourself, and you can buy a lot more real estate than you can with a little bit of money than you can with, stocks and bonds. And I'm not saying one's better than the other, because I know, I've got people that have been on the show that make great money with stocks and bonds, whatever those kind of things are. And I've had a lot of people on the show that make a lot of great money on real estate. But I do know, if you want to buy $200,000 worth of stocks, you've got to pretty much have $200,000 on you.
Absolutely.
I know there's ways around that here and there, but
Mm-hmm.
with real estate, if you want to buy $200,000 worth of real estate, you come up with pretty much 25% of that.
Yeah, absolutely. If if the listeners want a little take-home homework, look up laddering or BRRR. Those are two of the same strategies where you can take, like you said, a little down payment, get into a house, pay it down. You can go buy another house, and eventually you can end up. I know young people with, staggering portfolios, and it doesn't take that long to get there. It's just, a little bit of work and, of course, knowledge and believing in yourself.
Yep. A little bit of risk.
Yeah, there is. There's risk in life, right?
Yeah. And knowing the markets are going to go up and down, and not to freak out when they do.
Yeah. And I think, like you said, same with stocks, those markets go up and down as well. And, we invest. It's nice to have savings in all sorts of places. I think having hedges to the things you do. And that's another thing about, investing basics. You got to have a little bit of money put away to get started, and whether that's a rainy day fund and then moving into something bigger. But I've read a lot of statistics about how much equity and how much wealth that people keep in real estate in their homes. And it's, it is a primary source of wealth for more people. So being knowledgeable about that, is probably a good idea anyway.
I like it. Well, perfect, Matt. As we kind of close up a little bit, I'd like to bring us into a little lightning round real quick.
Oh, okay.
For the lightning round, is there a favorite book that you have that you've read recently, or that's kind of been a game changer for you?
For me, I always recommend Richest Man in Babylon. I love that book.
Nice. You mentioned Robert Kiyosaki, and I just reread obviously the Rich Dad, Poor Dad, but I also just read the Cash Flow Quadrants.
Yep.
It was a good one. I've never read that one.
And great book.
That was a good one too. So
it was, yeah.
That's a great one. Okay. What's the biggest myth business owners need to know the truth about, from your perspective?
Business owners, entrepreneurs, any notion that it's going to be easy, that it's a quick road to wealth or to success. Everyone I know that is successful, and not just business, but having that work-life balance, which I think is where a lot of success is. It's not easy. It's a slow burn, generally speaking.
Yeah. It's that 10 to 20 year instant success.
Yeah, exactly. We were an instant success, 20 years in the making.
That's right. People tend to look and like, oh wow, you've done great, and but it's because they haven't paid attention for the last 10 to 15 years. So
a lot goes on behind the scenes that right. They say that entrepreneurs are the only people that'll work 60 hours a week, so we don't have to work 40.
Yeah, we're nuts, aren't we?
Oh, well, it's time freedom sometimes.
That's right. Okay, well, what's one question I should have asked that I didn't?
Man, that's one I hadn't thought about. Gosh, what I want for Christmas?
Right, there you go. Season.
Honestly, just everyone take care of themselves as far as that goes. You can't take care of other people if you don't take care of yourself. So be safe, be conscious of what you're doing, careful of the roads and other people, and take care of those around you as well.
Yeah, good message right there, Matt, because we on this podcast, we talk a lot about positivity and keeping away from people that are negative, and and just want to do you harm, because there's so many people out there that just want to see the world burn. And
Yeah.
Just, man, stay away from those people. They literally have nothing to offer you. So if you have those type of people in your life, literally move away from them.
Absolutely. You know, if you can add value for others, do it when you can, and hopefully you have others in your life that are doing the same.
Perfect, man. I like it. I appreciate it. Well, appreciate you coming on the show today. If people are listening and they're thinking, man, Matt knows his stuff, I want to talk to him about some real estate opportunities, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
You know, you can call me 208-220-0566. Text is fine also. I'm on Facebook.com/Matthew Hansen Real Estate.
Okay.
Messenger, you know, really. I'm one of those guys. I wake up like 5 in the morning. I stop working at 11. I don't put time restrictions on it. So yeah, well, anytime's fine.
Be careful what you say. Your wife's going to be listening to this and she's going to say, Matt, people texting you at 11 o'clock. I'm trying to have some time with you.
Yeah. Well, we time block. Time blocking is an insanely effective tool. So yeah, I try and get the family time in there as well. So
that's key. So
yeah.
My wife gets cranky when I don't have that, you know, some time blocking in myself. So
and the kids
there's times it doesn't happen very well, because there's times you just have to make things happen. But
absolutely. So
yeah, I agree. Well, cool, man. I appreciate it. And all those that are listening, like we said before, have a great holiday season, and stay away from those negative influences out there, and just go out there and make your dreams happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. And till next time, adios, everyone. Thanks, Matt.
Thank you.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.